Dave from Campervan Self Build. Today I'm going to talk about replacing my Thetford N112 with a 12 volt fridge, completely off grid. Come with me. So this is the my motorhome. I know it's Campervan Self Build, but it's all for you guys. And this is the fridge we're talking about. So I took the Thetford N112 out and replaced it with a 12 volt fridge. Now the surround doesn't quite fit, as you can see. It comes over the edge. Now there is a second board behind here, so I plan on moving this door to this second board and putting the second board here, so this door will move over and it will then shut. So the fridge itself, I mean, I haven't really got any complaints. It's a good fridge. I mean, it's a bit messy in there, but you know, and it keeps everything. It works really, really well. It's nice. This is the second one I've had of these though. The first one was faulty. It wouldn't turn on, it wouldn't turn off. What I'm not over keen on is if I turn it off. If I turn it off, it's now off as far as anyone's concerned. But if I open it, the light comes on. So that could technically be a parasitic drain, or parasitic drain, sorry. Let's turn it back on. And then the second thing I don't like is if I go up with the temperature, let's get it going, or say down, as you can see, let's go back up with the freezer. As I go up with the freezer, the temperature of the fridge comes down in line with it. And there doesn't seem to be any way to separate this, which I find a little annoying. I found that if I have it on 16, that the back of the wall would start to freeze up pretty quickly as well. So it starts to form ice. And excuse me. And yeah, and then the second thing that you got to be aware of is if you go up, press and hold, it will do this setting, and get on it quick because it will. And so that will cut. It's changed. Sorry about this. It's a bit quirky, this fridge. I'll leave it back up there. Right, so a lot of people are saying, oh, well, that's the power that it will use. No, it's not. It's an eco mode. No, it's not. Number 3, it will cut out roughly, and I'm guessing, the batteries. When the batteries reach 12.2, it will cut out and it will turn off, and then it will say F1 or something like that, F4. And that just means that you've reached the battery drop. Now, if you set it on 2, it's something like 11.6, and I tried to put it on 1, and it wiped the batteries out to 10.2, which could damage them. Now, bearing in mind I've got 2 lithium-ion batteries in here and solar panels and all kinds of stuff, this thing should be able to handle it, but it doesn't. This, if you've got a fully charged batteries plugged in on the mains, you know, and you've charged it all up, even with the solar, yeah, I was parked in a bit of a shade the other day, so I wasn't getting much solar. And to be honest with you, it lasted 4 or 5 days, and then it started to drop. And then the other day I drove back from where we were, and the batteries were showing 13.1 when I stopped. Left the fridge on overnight to come back to 10.2, all dead, and the fridge off. I was like, oh, great, here we go. So they're good, but they're nowhere near as good as a Dometic. A Dometic has a variable speed motor in it, compressor, and doesn't draw half as much power as what this does. This thing apparently draws a roughly 80 watts, I'm guessing, and it will slowly drain your batteries. Now, come the winter time, I think you're going to struggle with one of these. Now, for the Campervan self-build guys, you know, if you're off just for a weekend or something, you know, 4 or 5 days, you're not really going to have a problem. Good, reasonably good lithium setup, you know, and good bit of solar, it's going to run and not have too many problems. But if you haven't got the solar and it's not, and you only got maybe 100 watt solar panel, you're really not gonna, you're gonna struggle. Whereas with my last build that I made, I could run on about, I think it was 100 or 120 leisure battery, one 100 watt solar panel, and the thing would run all day, 7 days a week, never miss a beat. Whereas this is not as good. It's not as good. It's got an app. which is quite handy, because the first one that I had would only turn on and off with an app, and you could not turn it on by the button, so it was faulty. This was £379 on Amazon. I paid for it cash, well, credit card. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. For the campervan self-build, probably quite good if you're just using the weekend, you know, not a problem. But if you're full-time in it and you're off-grid, it's not gonna cut the mustard. You really are. But if you can get hold of LPG all the time, the three-way wins hands down, because purely the three-way is designed for it, and it will run on gas and not use any power. Then the downfall is trying to get LPG nowadays. It's getting harder and harder to get. But like I say, if you can get it, stick with the LPG for a motorhome maybe, and for your campervan self-build, not a problem. But I had to buy the surround frame as well to make it fit, and also pull a piece of the board behind the fridge out, because this is slightly deeper than the Thetford, but the Thetford is 113 litres, I think it is, and these are only 83. So this is an 83 litre fridge freezer, and then the surround, and it will go into the space, but you're gonna have to mess with the door at some point if you decide to replace your Thetford. So anyway, I thought I'd give you a little rundown on my fridge, and I've got other stuff going on in the van that I'll show you at a later date, and see how it goes. Cheers for now. So as you can see, that was my rundown on that fridge. AAOBOSI, all the rest of it, it's all the same basic fridge. It's a Chinese fridge, mass marketed, and they just change the names as they go. I mean, I have seen it for £350. I've seen it for £470 thereabouts. But on the whole, it's a good fridge, but it's not the best thing in the world. When you compare with Dometic, like I say, it's the Dometic will win hands down, and the Thetford, because Thetford do a 12-volt variable speed fridge. And yeah, I hope this helps somebody out. And I've got various bits and pieces going on in my motorhome. I'll go through it all, how I've wired up the I use a Vitoman. I've got a twin pack Vitoman, so it's and then how I've gerrymandered the solar panels then to charge that up as I go, and then I've got that wired back into the motorhome, so basically it's off grid, and then I can even charge up my lithium batteries with it by flicking the chargers on, and it will, the Vitoman will then charge, the power bank will then charge up my lithium batteries via its van's, you know, ground wire, if you like, you know, what you'd plug it into normally. Yeah, and anyway, hopefully it's a bit informative, and there'll be a few more videos, and we'll see how we go with this, and if it's any good, we'll keep going, and if not, hey, I haven't lost anything. It's a bit of time in it. Anyway, all the best for now, and join Campervan Self Build on Facebook if you're interested. There's lots of people on there making lots of stuff, and some really incredible builds on there. And the whole reason for that page was back 16 years ago, whatever. There wasn't really any information out there about how to, and so I was just doing everything guesswork, and it was a lot harder to get parts and bits, and nobody seemed to do a lot of stuff. And so I thought, well, you know, the Facebook page, and it's built, and it's 425,000 or something like that on there. So yeah, go and join that, and it's lots of information, lots of people posting up all their different builds. You know, some are good, some are bad, and some are quirky, and it's all different kinds of fanciness going on. And our next show's going to be that we're going to is the Newbury one, and I can't remember the name of it now, but I'll remember it next time for the next video, because that's what we'll be doing. Anyway, speak to you soon. Bye bye.